Worldly women influence men in the truth to err from the Most High. And this is the truth. This is what we're dealing with today. We're going to go into Colossians chapter 3, verse 17. Colossians 3 and 17. This is a needed topic for today's times because, as you notice, the world is getting worse and worse, and the families are breaking down, and there's no lead or head of the household. They're changing names. They're changing genders. They're changing everything. So we must roll with the Most High and do as he said to do. All right, let's go to Colossians chapter 3, verse 17. And whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all by Hashem, Hamashayach, Yahushai, giving thanks to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, by Hashem, Hamashayach, Yahushai, by him. All praise to the Most High, the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. It's worthy to be praised for everything through Hamashayach, Yahushai. So today's class, again, we're talking about women, how they influence men to go off. And notice how I said worldly women, because one, women outnumber men. Let's get that straight. Those are the statistics. Women outnumber men wherever you go, especially in Israel. And so we have a lot of women who follow the leaders of countries, which follows the rules that are governed by the countries of the leaders. And from that, there are holidays that these countries keep that are pushed heavily within society through commercials, through advertisements, through word of mouth. And so we have a lot of people keeping the holidays of these different countries. Doesn't matter where you go. You could be right here in Mystery Babylon in America. You could go to Rome. You could go to Portugal. You could go to Spain. You could go to England. You go to Brazil, China, Japan. Doesn't matter where you go. You will be influenced by the rules of that country and its festival days. But the Most High has feast days, and we are not supposed to forget it. And the Most High set up an order which we are not supposed to forget. So the first thing we're going to do is go to Genesis chapter 2, verse 7. And the Most High, thy power, formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. And the Most High, our power, planted a garden eastward in the Eden, and there he put the man whom he had formed. We know the purpose of Adam, why he was created. He was created to till the garden. So let's drop down to verse 21. I'll start at 20. And it says, and Adam gave names to all cattle and to fowl of the air and to every beast of the field. And these things, all these different animals, note, these animals were created for mankind. The animals, everything you see that bothers you, even the flies and mosquitoes, were all created for mankind. The Most High did that for us. They all have a purpose. And Adam gave names to all cattle and to the fowl of the air and to every beast of the field, but for Adam there was not found an helpmeet for him. And the Most High Yahweh caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept. And he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead thereof. And the rib which the Most High thy power had taken from man made he a woman, and brought her unto the man. And Adam said, this is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man. So the woman comes out of man. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. And they were both naked, the man and his wife, and were not ashamed. So they became one flesh. That means whatever they do is together. Even if they're apart, they're still together. And so this is why correction is important, that both a man and a woman should walk as they are together at all times, not separate. This is important to the lesson. Verse 13. This is when they sinned in the garden, and the Most High came to Adam first. The start of verse 9. And the Most High, thy power, called unto Adam and said unto him, Where art thou? And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid, because I was naked, and I hid myself. And he said, Who told thee that thou wast naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree, whereof I commanded thee that thou shouldest not eat? And the man said, The woman whom thou gavest to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat. So now, whatever Eve did was a reflection of what Adam did. Whether he ate of this tree or not, if Eve did it, Adam did it too. And the Most High, thy power, said unto the woman, What is this that thou hast done? And the woman said, The serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. And the Most High, thy power, said unto the serpent, Because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust, which is confusion, shalt thou eat all the days of thy life. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed, and it shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. So the seed is very powerful here. The Most High created the seed to come out and learn the scriptures, to be righteous, to bruise the head of what? Of the serpent. This seed is going to bruise the head of the serpent. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow in thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children. And thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. I must read this last verse because this is important. And unto Adam he said, Because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, you listened to your wife, and hast eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee, saying, Thou shalt not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for thy sake. In sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life. So now we have a foundation. The foundation is man and woman go together, and when they come together, they're supposed to remain together in thought and in actions. And if they're not together in thought and actions, destruction comes in. This is why communication is very important between a man and a woman. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 8. Proverbs chapter 8. And this is why he set up the oaths in the book of Numbers. If the woman does not have a husband, she is supposed to be under her father. Okay? And this is why he set up the church as holy men for those who are widows or those who do not have husbands or a father, to be as an orphan under an elder or a priest or a high priest. Okay, Proverbs chapter 8 and verse 4. Proverbs chapter 8 and verse 4. Unto you, O men, I call, and my voice is to the sons of man. So who's the Most High calling? He's calling, O men I call, because he created Adam first and took a rib out of Adam. So unto the men he's calling. O ye simple, understand wisdom, and ye fools, be ye of an understanding heart, because you are the light for correction under the Most High's hand. Let's go to Revelation 14 and 4, because this is something we all try to get to. Revelation 14 and 4. Revelation 14 and 4, it reads, These are they which were not defiled with women. Now, the defilement part is the part that we're going to go into today. These are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. The virgin part is another similitude. Okay? And he says, for they are virgins, that is a similitude, and we'll get into what that similitude is. These are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth. These are they which follow the Hamashayach wherever he goeth, because he is the truth, the way, and the light. All right, so let's find out what the defilement is. Isaiah 34 and 16. Isaiah 34, verse 16. It reads, seek ye out of the book of the Most High and read. Seek ye out of the book of the Most High and read. No one of these shall fail, none shall want her mate. For my mouth it hath commanded, and his spirit it hath gathered them. So to seek out of the book and read, notice this is that no one of these things that are in the book shall fail. None shall want her mate. Stand by 1 second. It's like, yeah, I'm here. Okay, so where we at? We were in Isaiah 34 and 16. So it says, seek ye out of the book of the Most High and read. No one of these shall fail. None shall want her mate, because one in the Most High, you are going to do everything right according to the Most High. If you have a mate that is worldly, she is not going to be able to blend with you if you are of the Most High, and she's doing opposite of what the Most High wants you to do. She's not going to blend. Eventually, it's going to tear apart. Okay? It's just the way it is. Oil and water does not mix. She has to become oil to be a part of this love. So it says, no one of these shall fail. None shall want her mate. For my mouth it hath commanded, and his spirit it hath gathered them. Okay? So the spirit of the Most High is going to gather them. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 3. Isaiah 3 and 12, it says, as for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. This is very, very important. It says, as for my people, children are their oppressors. Now, it's not actually speaking of small children. These are children who were raised by women who were not in the truth. These children have now become your leaders. These children are now representing the whole house of Israel without the commandments of the Most High. This is very profound. It says, as for my people, children are their oppressors. You look at the pastors in our neighborhoods. Are they teaching us the law, statutes, and commandments? No, they're not. Are they teaching us precept upon precept? No, they're not. So the children are our oppressors. They run everything without the understanding of the Most High. And it says, and women rule over them, because soon as they hit a depressed moment, they're running right back to their mama, running right back to their grandmama, who didn't have any understanding of the law, statutes, commandments. These are people that they trust. They're going to go to them, and they're going to learn more wickedness.
How to eat to live. I knew it. Just what joy do you get out of trying to crush all of my dreams, Huey? Do you know how long I wanted to own my own restaurant?
3 weeks at Sunday dinner. That was the first time you mentioned it. And you only started doing the stupid Sunday dinner thing because you saw soul food on cable. We're gonna pause this for the benefit of all y'all who never saw Soul Food. Soul Food is a movie about a big, humongous black grandmother, aptly named Big Mama. Big Mama demonstrates her love by feeding herself and her offspring enormous amounts of pig lard. Then, get this, Big Mama's arteries are so clogged, they gotta amputate her arm.
It was her leg.
Right, okay, whatever, leg. Then, she dies of a heart attack. Or another stroke, or something.
God called her home.
And what does the family do after she dies? They get together for a Sunday dinner and eat the same food that just killed Big Mama. The same food! They didn't learn a lesson. Nobody went on a diet, and that's the end of the movie.
You see, in life, we all make some bad choices.
O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err, and destroy the way of thy paths. See that? So, for example, if you don't believe me, let's look at holidays. The biggest family influences for holidays are women. They are great organizers. They are great interior decorators. They're great cooks. You know, they're good at all these different things for celebrating holidays. They're good as getting people together, right? They orchestrate the whole thing. They prepare for Christmas. They prepare for Thanksgiving, Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, Father's Day, even baby showers. Many other holidays. July 4th coming up is another one. All these days are hyped up by women, and then they drag men into it. Most of the men don't want to be a part of it, but they do it because they love their women. They're dragged into it. They're normally cooking barbecue or something outside, but the women are the preparers. Even parties on the Sabbath day, that's another one. Right in the midst of Sabbath day. That's why when you see brothers keeping the holy days who don't have any women with them, you see them in a room. They're keeping the Passover. It looks like they're at a 4x4 jail cell. It's just as cold as it could be. It ain't got no decorations, nothing. It's just cold because the women are not involved. They're not organized, but the women are not in the truth. Most of them got women who are worldly. They're not giving it their all for the Passovers. They're not giving it their all for the Day of Atonement, preparing the meals. This is why women and children lead us to error. It's just the men in the truth. Let's go to First Ezra chapter 4 and verse 25. It says, "Wherefore a man loveth his wife better than father and mother." Didn't we hear this? We heard this where? In Genesis. We just read about this. Yea, many there be that have run out of their wits for women and become servants for their sakes. Look at that. Now, all these holidays I just mentioned, the influencers are the women. A lot of these men run out their wits to keep these wicked holidays or holidays behind their women. It says, many also have perished, have erred, and sinned for women. Now, how many times have you seen someone die during a holiday or holiday due to high blood pressure, due to heart attacks, strokes, due to gunfire, going to jail because they drunk on these days? These are days that we ain't even supposed to keep. But the influencers of each family are the women. Like I said, they outnumber us, and they all participate. Here's another example of women. Let's go to Jeremiah 17. We're going to see it in the scriptures. Jeremiah 7, verse 16, and it reads, "Therefore pray not thou for this people, neither lift up cry nor prayer for them, neither make intercession to me, for I will not hear thee. Seest thou not what they do in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem? The children gather wood so that everyone can cook, and the fathers kindle the fire, the fathers out there barbecuing, and the women knead their dough to make cakes to the Queen of heaven, and to pour out drink offerings unto other gods, that they may provoke me to anger." See that? So it's the same thing that was going on then. The women were the influence, and everybody else went right along with them to celebrate and worship the Queen of Heaven, whether they know it or not. Do they provoke me to anger, saith the Most High? Do they not provoke themselves to the confusion of their own faces? Therefore thus saith the Most High, thy power. Behold, my anger and my fury shall be poured out upon this place, upon man and upon beast, and upon the trees of the field, and upon the fruit of the ground. And it shall burn and shall not be quenched. So the Most High has a judgment for all these things. And this is what we've been seeing year in, year out. When we came into the truth, we started to understand why these things were happening. The worldly women of the world love holidays or holidays, even if it is celebrated under another God's pretense. Doesn't matter. It's the social ingathering that they vibe off of. But when it comes to the commandments, they ain't keeping them. In order for them to keep the commandments and have a feast day and put all their energy into a feast day, there's an order. And the order is they have to ask the men that are keeping the commandments. They have to ask them, okay, am I right doing this or am I wrong doing this? Because if they don't ask and the men are not in order, then you're going to see feast days with brothers having abominable things in it, like pork. All right, you got roast, you got crab, you got shrimp, all at a feast day. That is a signature of error. But if men are in righteousness, the women will ask these men before preparing the ceremony, so it could be tasteful to the Father in heaven and not just to ourselves. The men are the responsible for orchestrating right things for holy ceremonies. Just like Adam and Eve, Adam didn't correct Eve regarding that sin that she brought into the Garden of Eden. So he had to pay the consequence for not correcting her. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 8. Proverbs chapter 8, verse 4. Proverbs chapter 8, verse 4. Unto you, O men, I call, and my voice is to the sons of man. O ye simple, understand wisdom, and ye fools, be ye of an understanding heart. Hear, for I will speak of excellent things, and the opening of my lips shall be right things. For my mouth shall speak truth, and wickedness is an abomination to my lips. I'll say that again. For my mouth shall speak truth, and wickedness is an abomination to my lips. All the words of my mouth are in righteousness. There is nothing forward or perverse in them. So when men lead the women and children to keep the holy day ceremonies, it should be right. Even things uttered off your lips should be right. Right according to the dietary laws, right according to the ceremonial laws, right according to the moral laws or civil laws. His ceremonies, it should not be held in a defiled place. You see some brothers defiling the Most High's days in strip clubs. Some brothers be defiling the Most High's days in barbecue restaurants. It should not be defiled in a gambling spot. You shouldn't be at a Sikh Indian temple. You shouldn't be at a Muslim temple keeping the Most High's feast days where they serve abominable things. Let's go to Amos chapter 5. Amos chapter 5. And let's go to verse 22. And it reads, though you offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I will not accept them. Neither will I regard the peace offerings of your fat beasts. So the Most High is not going to accept any of this food that the men took the fire, took the wood. What does it say? The children took the wood and the men kindled the fire. So he's not going to accept any of this stuff. Take thou away from me the noise of thy songs, for I will not hear the melody of the viols. But let judgment run down as waters, and righteousness as a mighty stream. Have ye offered unto me sacrifices and offerings in the wilderness 40 years, O house of Israel? But ye have borne the tabernacle of your God, which is Molech, and shunned your images, the star of your God, refuge, which ye made to yourselves. So if you look at today's time and that time, it's not too much different. You're still doing the same crazy stuff. A lot of our people still worshiping false gods. They all getting ready for 4th of July next. It just goes on and on and on. Every month, something new. But our people fail to reason with themselves to keep the Most High's feast days. Don't nobody even talk about it. A man of the Most High shouldn't even be praying over things that are abominable. You go to a restaurant, you with a bunch of other people, you order lamb because the restaurant advertising lamb on the menu, and everyone else sitting there ordering crab, lobster, shrimp. Y'all all gonna sit at the same table. Then they look at you to pray. You the man of the household. Maybe you should pray over this food. Don't even reach for their hands to pray over that food. That is abominable prayer. At that point, pray for yourself. Ask the Most High that He forgive their sins right there in front of you doing wickedness. Ask the Most High that He help change their minds to righteousness at that point. Because you got a lot of brothers that say the truth to do that. They're like, I'm going to go out with my family today. I just want to keep the peace. Here you ordering clean things, and here your family ordering everything else. Just keep silent. Don't even, when they say, hey, won't you pray? Turn it down. Turn down the offer. Why embarrass yourself in front of the Most High? Pray for yourself. Keep it kosher. Like the Most High said, let your yea be yea and let your nay be nay. Say, no, I'm not going to pray. You pray. You pray for it. Look at Adam. Adam got caught up doing the same thing Eve was doing. That was a simple thing. We say, the little things ain't going to stop you from getting to heaven. Shoot. Stop Adam.
You don't need pork. You don't need pork. Some people don't eat pork for religious reasons, which I think is dumb. I ain't shitting on nobody's religion. But I refuse to believe that on Judgment Day, my diet's going to come into question, okay? What you eat don't got shit to do with who you are as a person, okay? Hey, God, I killed a bunch of kids, but it ain't right. No, that ain't gonna happen.
It stopped Adam. Adam got kicked out of the garden for something simple. Imagine what we're going to get kicked out of kingdom of heaven for. Proverbs chapter 28, verse 9. Proverbs chapter 28, verse 9. It reads, he that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer shall be an abomination. So you praying over your lamb and their crab and their shrimp, even your prayer is an abomination. That is a foolish person. We all have these situations where we're considered foolish being in the truth. All of us, because we don't think past our noses. So the Most High won't even hear your prayer. Here you are praying over everyone else's food, abominable things on their plate. All of them better repent. 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 33. 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 33. For the Most High is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all churches of the saints, all about doing things that are right before the Father. Verse 34. Let your women keep silence in the churches, for it is not permitted unto them to speak, but they are commanded to be under obedience, as also saith the law. Now, most of the time, what you have heard in times past, when people say, let your women be silent in the churches, you have always thought about a temple. You have always thought about a church on the street somewhere, a building. But this again, when you hear churches, like I said in the last class, think of that term being a metaphor for the saints. Think of that term being a metaphor for holy men speaking on holy things, like he said above. And the spirits of the prophets are subject to the prophets. You don't interrupt the prophet when they're speaking right things. So this is not just talking about a building or a church. This is talking about when the saints are gathered and they're speaking on righteous things, which are things in the scriptures. Do not interrupt them. Let your women keep silent. This is what it's talking about when the saints are gathered. Let's go to Psalms 133. And it reads, behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. See that? It is like the precious ointment upon the head, that ran down upon the beard, even Aaron's beard, that went down to the skirts of his garment. So this is when brethren are dwelling in unity. Let your women keep silent in the churches when they are prophesying. This is how problems and conflicts are resolved. Okay? This is how we resolve things in private. And what do women do? Women go and what we call today gossip. This is what he means by be silent. Don't go out gossiping about what we're discussing privately amongst the brethren. Okay? This is what it means by letting her be silent. Not to interrupt, not to gossip. Let's go to Matthew chapter 18. Matthew chapter 18, verse 20. Matthew chapter 18, verse 20. Let's start at 19. Again, I say unto you that if two of you shall agree on earth as touching anything that they shall ask, it shall be done for them of my Father which is in heaven. For where two or three are gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst of them. So again, this is resolving conflicts in the churches. Let's go back. Actually, let's go from here and let's go to Sirach in Apocrypha. Sirach 26 and verse 14. And it reads, a silent and loving woman is a gift of the Most High. Someone who ain't gossiping. And there's nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed. Instructed in what? In the commandments. The commandments. Not on some made-up rules from some man. Well instructed in the commandments. All right? We are happy to be together with our women. Okay? We are all we're compromising amongst each other. When we're keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, we're together. We're one. Look at verse 15. A shamefast and faithful woman is a double grace. Double grace. I mean, she's going to help the brothers. She's going to help her husband. And her continent mind cannot be valued. As the sun, when it ariseth in high heaven, so is the beauty of a good wife in the ordering of her house. Why? Because she understands the mission. Okay? She's not out there like Eve, slipping out, going to talk to Satan, trying new things. That brings confusion. Let's go back to Psalms 133. Psalms 133, verse 3. Psalms 133, verse 3. As the dew of Hermon, and as the dew that descended upon the mountains of Zion, for there the Most High commanded the blessing, even life forevermore. So when the brethren get together, there is a blessing when they keep the law, statutes, commandments, which is life. We're all striving for life, right? To live again. Let's go into the Torah. Let's go to Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy chapter 30. Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 15. See, I have set before thee this day life and good and death and evil. So he set before us life and death, good and evil. And that I command thee this day to love the Most High thy power, to walk in his ways, and to keep his commandments, and his statutes, and his judgments, that thou mayest live and multiply. And the Most High thy power shall bless thee in the land, whither thou goest to possess it. But if thine heart turn away, so that thou wilt not hear, but shall be drawn away and worship other gods and serve them, I denounce unto you this day that you shall perish, and that you shall not prolong your days upon the land. Because how is your seed going to bruise the head of Satan if you don't have any powers, if you don't have nothing to fight with? Satan, he don't let Satan take you over. It says, whether thou passest over Jordan to go possess it. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessings and cursings. Therefore choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live. See that? So if worldly women are in the midst of holy men, there will be problems and a thorn in their side. There'll be problems amongst a man of the Most High. Everything that a man of the Most High does, according to the understanding of the Scripture, will be offensive to them. And the saints will be disrespected every time. Every time. Let's go to Proverbs 7 and 10. Proverbs 7 and 10. And behold, there met him a woman with the attire of a harlot, and subtle of heart. She is loud and stubborn. Her feet abide not in her house. Okay, a woman should dress modestly, not the attire of a harlot or the attire of a man. There's some women like wearing men clothes today. Verse 11 says, she is loud and stubborn. Her feet abide not in her house. So this is someone who's sinning.
Well, Jerry, I'm just got married. I got 2 beautiful kids. Me and my husband been together for a few years, but it's hard to make ends meet on paying bills. We struggling. Like if I go to ask him up for something, he'll tell me he don't have it. So I'm just basically tired of it, Jerry.
So what you been doing?
Well, Jerry, I was coming here to tell him that I have been prostituting.
And you think they're customers here?
No, Jerry, it's not like that. If you in a situation like me, Jerry, it'll be like you trying to do whatever it is to make sure your family have this when they need it. Make sure you ain't out in the dark. Make sure you able to pay your bills on time. And at the time, it was Christmas, and I wanted to get everything that my kids wanted for Christmas. So I had to make that sacrifice so I could make sure they had everything.
Now, so who are your clients? I mean, not Santa. But...
Well, I have one client. His name is Nate. I was introduced to him from my husband's sister, which she is also a prostitute.
Your husband's sister is a prostitute, and she introduced you to this client?
Yes, Jerry.
Oh, that's how it... Is he your only customer?
Yes, Jerry.
Oh, well, how often do you sleep with him?
Twice a week.
And he pays you every time?
Yes, he pays me $75.
Someone who's going against the truth. Someone who's not following the ways of the Most High, not keeping the Sabbath day, not keeping the feast days, not honoring her husband, not taking care of her children. All of these things go hand in hand. Let's jump over 2 verses or 2 chapters, and let's go to the 9th chapter, and let's go to verse 13. Proverbs 9 and 13, and it reads, a foolish woman is clamorous. She is simple, knowing nothing. So we said that already. When someone that keeps all these holidays and that bucks up against a man that tells her the Most High is not happy with the way that you're running this, she is considered simple. She knoweth nothing. She knoweth not the ways of the Most High. She is a foolish woman. She seeks for a man she can control. And this is why the Most High tells us to stay away from even the heathen women, because they will lead us astray, because they're already not following the Most High. They're already not keeping the commandments. So why would you get with the heathen woman based on her looks, because you like the way she looks? Skin is nothing to the Most High. Actions are ways. He knows that He created our people to be beautiful and other people to be beautiful, but the ways of the Most High are ways. If you keep His laws, statutes, commandments, that's what's important. Nehemiah chapter 13. Nehemiah chapter 13, verse 23. Nehemiah chapter 13, verse 23. Again, this is one of the reasons why Tobit speaks on marrying someone of your race, someone of your tribe, because they should already be taught in the ways of the Most High. Plus, the favor is on the 12 tribes of Israel of the Most High. Nehemiah chapter 13, verse 23. In those days also saw I Jews that had married wives of Ashdod, of Ammon, and of Moab. These are nations of people. And you can find that out in Genesis chapter 10. It talks about the table of nations. Verse 24, and their children spoke half in the speech of Ashdod, African, and could not speak in the Jews' language, but according to the language of the Ek people. And I contended with them, and cursed them, and smite certain of them, and plucked off their hair, and made them swear by the Most High, saying, Ye shall not give your daughters unto their sons, nor take their daughters unto your sons, or for yourselves. Where have we read this before? This is in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7. It says, Did not Solomon, king of Israel, sin by these things? Yet among many nations was there no king like him, who was beloved of the Most High. And the Most High made him king over all Israel. Nevertheless, even him did outlandish women cause to sin. Even the king of Israel sinned. Shall we then hearken unto you to do all this great evil, to transgress against the Most High in marrying strange wives? Okay, and as you read on, you see that Nehemiah caught one of the priests out of order, and he checked him and put him in ward for doing these things. So that's the final transmission when you look at when it comes to marrying these women. You don't want to end up here. Let's go back to Proverbs chapter 9. See, when you deal with these type of women, there is a destination for dealing with them. The end game. Proverbs chapter 9, verse 14. Proverbs chapter 9, verse 14. For she sitteth at the door of her house on a seat in the high places of the city, to call passengers who go right on their ways. Whoso is simple, let him turn in hither. See, Eve tried to do this with Satan, but Satan had something better for her. Right? He already knew she was off. And as for him that wanteth understanding, she said to him, Stolen waters are sweet, and bread eaten in secret is pleasant. Right? That is a lust. When it says stolen waters are sweet, that's a form of lust. Okay, now when people lust after each other, when they get that thing that they desire after, it's sweet to them in the beginning. That's why it says stolen waters are sweet, and bread eaten in secret is pleasant. But he knoweth not that the dead are there, and that her guests are in the depths of hell. That is the end game. You don't want to go to this place. All right, so following a woman that is worldly will send you where? To hell. These women themselves will have 500 pounds of neck irons on their necks as they approach death. They're going to be in a horrible place after death. Also, women who commit adultery, fornication, and have abortions, they're all going to pay too. There's a furnace that the Most High has waiting for these people, which is a lake of fire, especially those who aborted sons without the consent of the fathers. There's a lot of women, single women out there, they get pregnant in these sex games, doing crazy stuff after parties. They get pregnant. They don't have a husband. They don't have a man. They do these one-night stands and they get pregnant. Then they have abortions. They're going to bear their own iniquity. Remember, Eve had a husband, and Adam had to bear the iniquity of his wife. But you women who are independent, that's a whole other thing. You're going to have to bear your iniquity without correction. Let's go to 1 Timothy. 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 14. 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 14. And Adam was not deceived, but the women being deceived was in the transgression. See that? Notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing, if they continue in faith and charity and holiness with sobriety. So in childbearing, women will be saved. So when you have abortion, guess who's going to be your accusers? It's going to be them little ones that you had killed, especially if women are having a son and they had an abortion. Oh, man, that burden is going to be heavy. That's going to be heavy because the Most High said in Proverbs 8:4, unto you, O men, I call. All right, that's a heavy burden. So from my spirit, I just ask that the Most High have mercy on all these women and that they repent from their sins. They need to repent because this is going to be a heavy, heavy price to pay. Let's go to Sirach. These are worldly women. They think they could get away with it and not have to pay any penalties and go on about and live their life and do what they want to do. There's a price to pay for this. Sirach chapter 12, verse 6. It reads, for the Most High Yahweh hateth sinners. See that? He don't love sinners. It says he hateth sinners and will repay vengeance unto the ungodly and keepeth them against the mighty day of their punishment. All I got to say is repent. Let me get one for the young men looking for a wife. Let's go there. Let's go to Sirach chapter 26. The young men that get trapped dealing with worldly women too and be on the road to hell. Sirach chapter 26, Sirach or Ecclesiastes chapter 26, verse 20. This is what the Most High says to you young men. When thou hast gotten a fruitful possession through all the field, because you're looking for a wife, you're going up and down looking for a wife. Well, now, when you get a fruitful bow, when you get someone who will listen to you and follow the ways of the Most High says, sow it with thine own seed. Have a child. Get married and have a child, trusting in the goodness of thy stock. The Most High is with you. See that? Verse 21. So thy race which thou leavest shall be magnified, having the confidence of their good descent, because they're going to be raised and trained well in the Most High's words and his law, statutes, and commandments. Look at verse 22. A harlot shall be accounted as spit. I'll read it again, verse 22. Ecclesiastes chapter 26, verse 22. A harlot shall be accounted as spit. What is a harlot? Someone who deals with multiple men. Most High says she's going to be as spit. But a married woman is a tower against death to her husband. She's not leading them astray. She's not leading them to hell by doing things that she shouldn't be doing. They're in full communication with each other. They're in agreement. Verse 23. A wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man, but a godly woman is given to him that feareth the Most High. You ever see a wicked woman and she turn around and get a wicked man? You're like, man, she's trying to straighten herself out, but she don't have the understanding of the scriptures. And so she get another wicked man. And men will charm you, act like they're all that, act like they're doing right, and then by the time you figure it out, it's too late. All right? Mess around, got a wicked man. Verse 24, a dishonest woman contemneth shame, but an honest woman will reverence her husband. She will love her husband. That's an honest woman. But a dishonest woman will contempt shame. She'll constantly cause problems. Verse 25, a shameless woman shall be counted as a dog, but she that is shamefast will fear the Most High. A shameless woman in the club every day, right, doing what she wants, spending all the money that they have together, just breaking her man down. Verse 26, a woman that honoreth her husband shall be judged wise of all. See that? When you got two that agree together, that follow the Most High's ways, they will be judged wise of all. There will be a strong tower. But she that dishonoreth him in her pride shall be counted ungodly of all. So here's some wisdom. The Most High is giving us understanding. For those of us who are married already and those of us who are not married, he's giving us understanding. Let's go back to Revelation chapter 14. Revelation 14:4. These are they which were not defiled with women. I'll read it again. These are they which are not defiled with women. Now you have a better understanding of this. For they are virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb, which is Christ, whithersoever he goeth. These were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits unto the Most High, and to the Lamb. So how can we prove that these men are virgins? Or do they go through their whole life not having sexual relations with a woman? Is that what it's talking about? What does it mean for them to be virgins? Let's go into the Apocrypha again. Because a lot of people read that verse and don't understand, how can these men be virgins? Do you know when you repent and you change and you do what the Most High tells you to do, that now you are considered a virgin in the truth? You are no longer sinning. You are no longer adding sin to sin, but you are pure, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. Sirach chapter 15, verse 1. Sirach chapter 15, verse 1. He that feareth the Most High will do good, and he that hath the knowledge of the law, which is the law, statutes, and commandments, shall obtain her. Who's the her? Wisdom. The Most High uses wisdom to give to his people who are trying to do good. That is called the Holy Spirit. That is the Ruach. The Ruach will only deal with you if you are doing what the Most High asks you to do. Verse 2. And as a mother shall she meet him, the Holy Spirit, and receive him as a wife married of a virgin. You are going to be married to Hamashayach Yahushai. You should never, ever see a man of the Most High sitting with another man's wife at any time by himself. If he is, then he ain't right in his mind. If you see any man like that that's doing that, then he ain't a man of the Most High. All right? He should not be sitting with a woman by herself. The man of the Most High, if he is sitting with another man's wife, he better have a witness. He better have his wife with him. He better have a couple of brothers with him. It should be in a public place, but he shouldn't be by himself at a table with another man's wife. Okay? A witness shouldn't be a child either. You know, well, my child was there. Well, you can't have an infant as a witness because an infant can't talk. A 12-year-old child is not a witness, even though we think they're a witness. They can't even get on the stand. So that's still not right. But we should do things righteously to please the Most High Yahweh, as men of the Most High, as women of the Most High too. Do things that is right. A brother shouldn't be going over another brother's house and he not there, and hey, I'll wait for him to come home, sitting on the couch with dude's wife in the kitchen. That ain't right either. Go wait in your car. Go somewhere, come back when he's there. Don't go in the house hanging out with another man's wife. That's not right. Okay? It's just etiquette. The Most High is trying to prevent Satan from getting in between the two of these people. Let's go to Sirach. Let's go to chapter 9, verse 9. Look at this. Most High is speaking it. Sirach chapter 9, verse 9. It reads, sit not at all with another man's wife, nor sit down with her in thine arms. And this is vice versa too, for women sitting with another woman's man. Nor sit down with her in thine arms, and spend not thy money with her at the wine, lest thine heart incline unto her, and so through thy desire thy fall into destruction. Who's going to be influencing you to do wickedness? Satan and his demons. Right there with y'all. Right there with y'all. All right. Let's go to 1 Ezra again. Chapter 4 and verse 37. It reads, wine is wicked. The wine is lies. Just like Satan was speaking lies, that was the fruit of the crime, wine. The king is wicked because the king brings these holidays and the king says what men are supposed to do. That goes contrary to the Most High's laws. Women are wicked. We went over and gave you a whole lot of examples how women of the world are wicked. All the children of men are wicked. Gave you an example of that. And such are all their wicked works, and there is no truth in them. In their unrighteousness also they shall perish. As for the truth, it endureth, and is always strong. It liveth and conquereth forevermore. See that? I was going to end right there, but let me get a few more verses. Let's go to Revelation 17, because there's a bigger harlot than just our women. Countries are considered harlots as well. And like I said, the king is wicked. Well, the kings are over countries. And there's one particular king and one particular country that's more wicked than all the other countries. And that's Mystery Babylon. Revelation 17, verse 1. Revelation 17, verse 1. Look how the Most High explains this country. And there came one of the seven angels, which had the seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, come hither, I will show unto you the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. So he likens this country to a whore. And the Most High has a definition for a whore and what can happen if you deal with the whore. Let's go to Proverbs 23 real quick. Look at how the Most High describes a whore. Some people didn't even know this language was in the Bible. Proverbs chapter 23. And let's go to verse 26. Proverbs 23, verse 26. My son, give me thine heart, and let thine eyes observe my ways. For a whore is a deep ditch. See what the Most High calls a whore? Calls her a deep ditch. That's why he says, yea, though you walk through the valley of the shadow of death, you shall fear no evil. We are in a deep whore, a deep ditch. The valley is a ditch. Goes with Psalms 23. For a whore is a deep ditch, and a strange woman is a narrow pit. So he calls this place a great valley, a great ditch. All right. Revelation chapter 17, verse 2. Revelation chapter 17, verse 2. With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication. See that? And the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stone and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. That's that wine. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots, which is a deep ditch, an abomination of the earth. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints. So the saints are poisoned with the blood of this place, with the wine of this place. It says, and I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints, and with the blood of the martyrs of Hamashayach Yahushai. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration, because this woman, how did she get the blood of the saints on her? Slavery. And Job 9:24, the earth is in the hands of the wicked. All right? Verse 7, and the angel said unto men, wherefore didst thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman, and of the beast that carrieth her, which hath the 7 heads and 10 horns. We went over that last class. The beast that thou sawest was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit, and go into perdition. Everyone who is here in this place are going to go into perdition, judgment. And they that dwell on the earth shall wander, whose name were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they behold the beast that was and is not and yet is. This is a mystery because everyone wondered who was keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. So this is the topic of this whole class. Worldly women influence men into the truth, to err from the Most High. Now, giving you examples of how that's possible. The Most High discusses it throughout the scriptures, on a low level and on a high level. Hope this class was a blessing to you. I pray that the Most High Yahweh, while Yahweh Shai walk with you, and that you do right. With that, I'm going to end this class. Are there any questions?
This is the word of the Lord of hosts. I took you from the pastures and from following the sheep to be prince over my people Israel. I have been with you wherever you have gone, and have destroyed all the enemies in your path. I will make you a great name among the great ones of the earth. I will assign a place for my people in Israel. There I will plant them, and they shall dwell in their own land.